are we going to build our first community? That's the first thing, because it is natural to want to control your environment. It is natural to guarantee your children their future. Black people don't do that. When we wake up, the first thing we think about is, what can I buy to make myself look more important than other black people? You see, so our whole orientation towards life is different from other groups as a result of slavery. I want to go to President Biden. President Biden, your first day of office, you signed an executive order to protect the life and safety of transgenders. I have no problem with that. But you did it on your first day. But he sat up here with you, Charlemagne, and told black people that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. So if you went out of your way begging black people to vote for you, why haven't we got an executive order or any other activity coming out of the Oval Office from President Biden to protect black people from police? President Joe Biden signed an executive order that is exclusive to Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. I don't have a problem with that. But if you can protect the Asian American and Pacific Islander from violence, why can't you do the same thing for black people? They've been dealing with violence for 1 year as a result of COVID. That's what it's called, the COVID-19 hate crimes bill, to protect Asians as a result of discriminatory treatment that they've been dealing with for how long? 1 year. Black people have been catching hell for 400 years, and we have yet to get an executive order from Joe Biden to protect us from the police. And also, Charlemagne and Envy, to further highlight the racism of American government, the anti-Asian Pacific Islander hate executive order against hate is not for people of color. It's not for minorities. It's not for disadvantaged Americans. It is exclusively and only for Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Why am I bringing that up? Because when Barack Obama was in office, all these Negroes running around screaming for Obama, I still don't know why, was said that Barack Obama can't do nothing specifically for black people because this is America. And when we got the Civil Rights Bill in 64 and the Voting Rights Act in 65, they included 2 words at the end of that. One was gender and the other was sexual orientation. So the Civil Rights Bill did not only apply to blacks. It applied to everybody. So if you have to make laws for all Americans, Charlemagne and Envy, how do you explain the fact that the Asian Americans got a law just for them yesterday? The United States Senate, in historic precedence, passed the anti-Asian hate crimes bill at a vote of 96-1. Now, to give you an idea of what that means, the Senate, they don't agree on nothing. The Democrats and Republicans, they filibuster each other to death. But yesterday they didn't. 96, only one person voted against the anti-Asian hate crimes bill. So can I ask you a question? If the Senate was able to pass the anti-Asian hate crimes bill, Charlemagne and Envy, 96-1 with almost no opposition, why is it that the Emmett Till lynching bill still has not been approved? Why is it that there have been over 200 different anti-lynching bills introduced in the U.S. Congress? 200! And not one of them has been approved by the U.S. Congress yet. But the first ever Asian bill goes through on the first try. Look at the racism. Look at the discrimination. Look at the bias. Look at the inequity there. And why are they catering to the Asians? You know why? Because the amount of white people in this country is shrinking.
That's right.
And whenever the amount of white people in America shrinks, America looks to find other white groups or other minority groups that they can build an alliance with to protect their power and their interests. Who better than the Asians? They're just as conservative politically as many middle-class white Americans. They are just as economically comfortable as many middle-class white Americans. They don't like black people just as much as many middle-class white Americans. Not to mention that this can go a long way towards building relationships with Asian countries on the continent of Asia that America...
Shout out to Mediocre Tutorials. We are due an apology. So here's what I want you to do. Everybody in the chat room who rock with this message, it's time to start putting your money where your mouth is, because you have seen all the shit coming, all the stuff coming out about me, but what you don't hear people saying is arguing if I'm wrong. Who cares? Who is he? And where's his school? Where's his PhD? I'm the hero you get. That's who I am. I'm the hero you get. And until you get a better one, I'm the motherfucker you deal with. Because I ain't going nowhere. I'm the hero you get. I didn't go looking for it, but this is what is. This is what happened, and here's where we are. This is the moment that's before us. Now, what do we want to do about it? We want to still keep on acting like this don't matter? Act like we can still use the same old sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and need to be right? Let's just cancel this and move it. Let's just stop this and let's go back to the way it was. The world is moving on past you, black community. This is the plan. The plan is what? No black families. No black families, a permanent underclass, 2 working people and 2 working poor women require more than a working man and a working woman together. Y'all don't want it. You don't want it, but you got it. So I will take it. Because until you bring somebody better, I'm what you got. Because every night I have the conversation with people who are willing to have the conversation one-on-one, and we talk about it. And this platform has done more to bring people together than the few of you people talking all this shit. Every time I go around in this country, I get men and women saying thank you. I wish I could film that like little red wing on my shoulder, but that's okay. This is where we are. This is where we are. And if you don't think that non-black folks and those hundreds of thousands of views, do you think that's all black people? That's people from around the world looking to say, I don't want to end up like that. How do we?
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Modern Thought Provokers. Listen, you guys, it's been a long time. I really appreciate the comments that I'm getting from you guys. I've been really busy. I got my work from home situation schedule going on. I got 3 jobs working right now. Crazy right now. So it's been a little off, on and off with the videos and things like that. But I see a lot of you guys are liking the perspectives, and I thought this was another interesting topic, you guys. This right here, you know, I watched his recent video, Kevin Samuels, and he's saying that we're the hero he got. He's the hero we've got. And I think it's so funny because I also watched the Dr. Umar Johnson video with him in the Breakfast Club, right? And I remember a lot of several years ago, like 10 years ago, he was just a joke. Like people were making fun of him.
I had quite a few more people tell me that they're finished. I just want to check and see if I still have some people though that still need a few more minutes, maybe.
Sorry. This is my Zoom call, you guys. And Dr. Umar Johnson was talking about how President Joe Biden passed the Asian hate bill, and it was specifically made for Asian Americans, and how people were talking about black rights and things like that. We can't get bills
let's talk about it for a moment
because
first off, what's on your mind?
All right, sorry about that. I'm in the Zoom call. I'm still in orientation. I'm out of the job, but He talked about how there can't the Congress can't get bills for specific races of people, how it's like unconstitutional or something like that, and they did it though, right? Amidst all of these years, it's going to be almost 10 years since Obama became president. It hasn't begun, but it's gotten very bad when Obama became the president. And just since then, it's just been ridiculous as fuck. It's going to be almost 10 years, you guys, of just bullshit that we've experienced. You know what I'm saying? So, what I'm trying to say is that Dr. Umar and Kevin and all of the other guys that we have out there on YouTube, black men, we tend to take them as like a joke. We when they start talking about real shit, even Neil deGrasse Tyson, we respect him. You know, he's the science guy, but we don't take them much more seriously than their position. We have a sense, we give like automatic deference to. I go to the gym now, right? There's a older black gentleman that's a trainer, and you know, like I start to look at older black men differently. We don't hold any reverence to each other. Like people my age, man, like my especially when I was younger and even younger than me, We didn't give a damn about what older people had to say, man. We ready to fight older men. If anything, I know you see that shit, man. Like younger generation, we have there's a certain like disconnect that we have when it comes to respect to like the older generation, and a lot of it has to do because of we can see what y'all have done and what you've made and what they've done with their lives, you guys. And so like you can't get mad at a lot of the generation because it's like, why should we listen? The logic is like this. Why should you listen to somebody who doesn't have what you want? So you got to give kids more credit than what we do give them, and they're smart. They're very smart. Since I got my sister got a little. He about to be 2 years old. I got a 4-year-old. They are smart, man. They know what the hell is going on, even if they can't articulate it, even if they're not all the way able to understand it. This is something you can feel in your body, and it's a reverence that we don't have for the older. What I'm trying to say is that like I'm starting to do that a lot more. We don't do that. We tend to not do that with older black men in general, because I'm seeing I'm just talking about the men. You see the way the women treat Kevin. You see the way that younger women my age treat Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Almost 50-year-old man who's done the work, who is like esteemed. They still, you know, there's a lot more respect behind him, but you know, that's think about that. He has 800,000 subscribers now. And people still talk about him like that. How's the average, everyday, like, black man, older black man who's been through things, seen through things, how do we treat them? Other races of people, and the reason why he keeps talking about this, like, because it's true, man. Other races, they respect their old elder generation. They don't do the shit that we do with them. You know what I'm saying? And it's just really interesting that I just thought about that, you guys. And it's kind of a shame that it's still something that we don't want to necessarily take too seriously, because as the men, we're gonna do it. We got to do the work, you guys. And I see a lot of men doing it. I see a lot more men going to the gym now. I see them doing their thing, like getting to the money, getting to the bag, and they posting more Steph is cold shit on Snapchat stories. They posting Kevin Samuel stuff. Like it's really spreading around like crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's really good, man. I think we should really continue this going, because as black people, we need work. I just logged into Apex Legends, man, and I got a badge that says Stop Asian Hate. I didn't even know there was an Asian hate really going on. You know what I'm saying? But you can't go on the news without every week seeing a shooting and some shit. I'm just being honest. I'm sure people was out here saying like, oh, because you Asian, you got the corona. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't see Asian stores getting looted. I don't see Asian stores getting paint thrown on them and shit. Like, I don't see Asian people getting jumped on the regular on the streets or some shit. It happened maybe like, it was probably a good 3-4 days a week, maybe tops, in New York when that shit was happening. But how long have you seen consecutively? We can easily say years of black justice and shit. All I'm saying is that like, the shit that Kevin is saying, and like all the other people, Dr. Umar, they're starting places for us. Instead of really trying to look at it for the clout, instead of trying to look at it as just like fun and shit like that, like they're talking about legit shit, man. Like this is steps that as a race we gotta take. You know what I'm saying? I'm mixed too, right? So I still experience what he's talking about. It's at a different level. When I see my last name, I do get treated differently. When I talk, the way I look, it's a little, can't really tell off the rip, but it's still, I can see it. That's all I wanted to say, you guys. I got to get back to my training. I hope y'all doing good out there, man. Stay safe, you guys.